State Labor's exciting contribution. I had the privilege just before of attending a local medical surgery. Dr. Holland was explaining to me, along with the very capable midwives we met there, was explaining to us the needs in this area. I'm pleased to say to the community here and the 3,000 people who've got involved, who signed the petitions, we are listening to you. We're listening to the local clinicians, we're listening to the local nursing staff, we're listening to the local people of this community. And you can only do that, of course, when you've got a local candidate who knows the area. But we want to make sure that when people and families are dealing with a loved one who's got a challenging mental illness, that they can get the care here. Dr. Holland explained to me the remarkable statistics that 75% of the people with these conditions have to be treated outside the local area. Now, we just make the odds harder against people recovering and getting the treatment when they have to travel away from family, when they're dealing with all sorts of serious medical illnesses. But this is what a federal Labor government will do. We'll choose better local hospitals over bigger profits for banks. We'll choose the healthcare of Australians over subsidising tax loopholes for the very well off. We choose the health of Australians. We think that there is no issue any more important, and that's why I'm pleased to now hand over to Michael Daley, who's focusing on the health of everyone in New South Wales.
Well, thank you so much, Bill. It's great to join you on the campaign trail. This is the contrast of Labor in Australia against the Liberal Party. We've got a Prime Minister, Scott Morrison, and Premier Berejiklian, who don't want to touch each other with a barge pole. They don't want to be seen together on the campaign trail. You've got a Liberal government in Canberra and a Liberal government in New South Wales who don't respect each other, who fight each other, who won't be seen together. No wonder it's up to Labor to come in and rescue communities and make announcements like we are today. So thank you, Bill. Bill's a friend of mine. We're not afraid to be seen together. In fact, if Bill's the Prime Minister and I'm the Premier, you can look forward to a great era of cooperation between the Commonwealth and state governments. I'm here with Bill today and these terrific candidates and MPs to make this announcement today. Premier Berejiklian is in Sydney today announcing an arrogant decision to press on with the $730 million demolition and rebuild of a stadium in the eastern suburbs of Sydney. So $730 million, $750 million to knock down and rebuild a perfectly good stadium in Sydney. Bill and I and the team are here today to announce $200 million for regional health in New South Wales. That says everything about Liberal priorities. It talks about Labor's commitment to health. People all over Australia, all over New South Wales know that when it comes to crucial services like health and education, Labor always delivers because we actually believe in it. They're not phony commitments like the commitment that the Liberal government's made down here. It's not enough. When Fiona and Leanne have been door knocking, they've been told by residents it's not enough. This announcement today is about equality between Eurobodalla and Bega. The clinicians have said that they want equality. The petitioners have said they want equality, and all the door knocking that's been done by these candidates has said the same thing. Leanne and Fiona, they've been described as terriers. Two very strong Labor women. I can tell you Leanne's been driving me mad about this commitment, so we're here today to deliver for Leanne and the community down here, and want to say thank you for everyone who worked this up. My Shadow Health Minister, Walt Secord, this is a great announcement. It's all about families in regional New South Wales, not stadiums in Sydney.
Thanks, Mike. Now, is there any questions about this exciting announcement or any other state or federal matters? No, I don't. I've got Catherine King here as well. I'll get her to supplement our answer. But the fact of the matter is that we're learning a lot more about mental illness, and gradually it's losing its stigma. But one of the things I've found in the 80-plus town hall meetings I've done all over Australia is that it's difficult enough when there's an emergency, but there's some level of care. But straight after the immediate incident or immediate challenge, the subacute area, it's just deficient in regional Australia. When you're battling mental illness or indeed addictions, you need to be in your own environment to help come through that. You need to be around people who love you and know you. At the moment in Australia under this government, there is an exodus to the big cities of people if they can get treatment, and that's not good enough. But I might get Catherine to briefly supplement on some of the other things we're doing in regional Australia on mental health.
Thanks very much, Bill. There wouldn't be an emergency department that I visit around the country where the emergency physicians are saying to me that they have got people who have presenting with mental health problems in their emergency department that need assistance, and they can't get either care in the community or care in subacute beds. We would like to obviously see the government spend much more on mental health. We'll have a fair bit to say about that, obviously, in the lead up to the next election. But when you've got the circumstances where Headspace, for example, have substantial waiting lists across the country, it is clear that early intervention services are well and truly needed. But when you've got a federal government that has cut, so in this area alone, $5 million out of the public hospital system, you've got emergency physicians saying we need help with patients who have mental illness, you've got to ask, why is this government so poorly funding our public hospitals to actually deal with the services that we need in this community?
Mr Shorten, Moruya readers will be delighted to hear this announcement, but one of the things that brings people to the hospital regularly here is car accidents on the Princess Highway. Will a Shorten Labor government commit to an 80-20 funding agreement with whatever New South Wales government we have to make a divided carrying
It's taking the Blue Highway. First of all, I am familiar with the road needs of South Coast New South Wales. My family and I had the opportunity over any number of years to come up here for our holidays. And I remember it was only a day or two, or in fact it might have been while I was staying further up the coast here at Borley Point, that we had that terrible fatality with Jessica Falkus and her family. That was shocking. And I was very pleased, and I got my shadow minister, Anthony Albanese, to sign a commitment to work with the current government. I think the Deputy Prime Minister, McCormack, signed it for the government. So we do think there is a case to be made for a fair go. In terms of our record, we've got a good record. I'll get Mike to supplement that in a moment. If we want to get things done, like roads, like safety, like hospitals, then we've got to be able to pay for our promises. So one way I can say, not only will we work with the Liberals to help see greater investment in the roads in the manner in which you ask, but I can pay for my promises. I can pay for my promises because we're going to make multinationals pay their fair share of tax in Australia. We're going to make sure that we close some of the unsustainable loopholes where property investors are favoured over first home buyers in our housing market. But I might get Mike to talk a bit further about our record and our ongoing commitment. And of course, I've got the future Premier of New South Wales here, and he's very motivated on this question.
And that is where we will leave that media conference from the New South Wales south coast of Moruya, where the federal opposition leader Bill Shorten was joined by the New South Wales opposition leader Michael Daley, announcing a $200 million boost to regional health. This announcement, of course, comes ahead of the New South Wales state election, which is slated for the 23rd of March.